kind of want to pivot to Chris Cuomo. I'm curious. So this Bama, Chris Cuomo, got fired on his day off, no less, technically, even though they had suspended him. It was a Saturday. They fired this man on a Saturday from his job for helping his brother doing his, how do you say it, his sexual harassment charges when he was governor of New York.
Mm-hmm.
And the very first thing is, what did CNN expect Chris Cuomo to do if his brother was asked him to help him?
Stick his head in the hole and go after him like everybody else did.
I think this is one of those things that are probably supposed to happen, because Chris Cuomo got that job because of his brother, because of his ties to, you know, the political world in terms of his brother and his dad. You know, his dad was the mayor of New York back in the day. I've seen people's birth certificates with that nigga name on it. So you know what I'm saying? And Chris Cuomo, he had a sexual harassment allegation against him too.
At CNN, didn't
he? Yeah, no, when he worked for ABC News. But you know what I'm saying? They wanted to keep him on.
Handled.
They wanted to keep him on as long as possible because he has the highest rated show on CNN. And the only reason he got fired is because CNN is no longer owned by AT&T. It's owned by Discovery.
And Discovery's all family.
And no, it ain't all family. I got a subscription to Discovery Plus. It's not all family. But what Discovery do have is a new CEO that's in charge of both Warner Brothers, which is the parent company of CNN, and Discovery Communications, because they've merged. Because AT&T is broke. They selling everything. They done sold DirecTV, and now they selling Warner Brothers and HBO Max and all that stuff. Because HBO Max and Discovery is supposed to merge into one streaming service.
Discovery Max Go or some crap.
Whatever they name it.
Stupid ass name.
It'll probably just stay HBO Max, but because you know, brand recognition. But one of the first, because the new CEO was in the office with the guy that's in charge of CNN when they were making a decision to get rid of him, because the new CEO plans to revitalize CNN altogether and turn it back to an actual news organization, and not, you know, a news entertainment channel like what they all are, because none of them are technically journalists. Right, I found that out with the with the cases that was against Rachel Maddow and Tucker Carlson.
What you mean? I don't understand.
They both had liable suits against them, but they got out of their lawsuits because they were actually able to argue that they aren't actual journalists and their shows aren't actually news shows. They're entertainment shows, and they are entertainers. They're talk show hosts, just like Chris Cuomo. He's a talk show host. You know what I'm saying? He's not actually a journalist. He probably didn't do journalism in a long time.
Well, Chris Cuomo started out as a lawyer, and how he pretty much pivoted because of his family.
Most of them on TV, most of the anchors that's on TV were lawyers. You know what I'm saying? Megyn Kelly was a lawyer. They plucked her out. They plucked her straight from the law firm and threw her on TV. All of them lawyers. You know what I'm saying? None of them are actual journalists. The journalists are the ones you don't see hosting shows. They do segments.
The correspondents.
The people that's actually in these streets putting in this work.
So what was it that made CNN decide to finally say, okay, we got to pull the trigger on this?
Because he was toxic to the brand. Because Chris Cuomo was actively trying to trash
his brother.
No, not only that, but he was actively trashing the accusers. And he was giving his brother details on what type of stories they're gonna run, and to make sure that he stay on top of it. Essentially working as a spy within CNN for his brother.
But wouldn't that be something they all would do? They have a family member in this situation.
Yeah, it's a complete conflict of interest. And that's what he did. You know, you gonna help your brother out, but you gotta deal with the consequences of helping your brother out too.
I mean, can you really say that these media brands are really interested in conflict of interest? I don't want to compare.
No, they wasn't. That's why he got hired, because he's nothing but a conflict of interest. You know what I'm saying? He's an insider. You know what I'm saying? He's from one of the most powerful families in New York. The Cuomo family is powerful in New York. Dad was the mayor. Big brother was the governor. Chris Cuomo is the hottest thing on CNN.
Or was.
Keyword.
I mean, what's to stop him from saying, okay, I'm gonna go to Fox News, which is what I honestly expect.
He don't have no, Fox News trash him too much. No. I mean, he already has a talk show, a talk radio show, and a podcast. He gonna be all right. He's just not gonna be on CNN.
Well, the other question is gonna be, you know, they fired him. The question is, what was left on his contract?
They probably was gonna pay it out. When NBC fired Megyn Kelly, before they fired her, she had a $60 million contract with NBC. Once they canceled her, because of that whole blackface thing, once they canceled her, NBC had to pay out the rest of her contract.
Which was like 45 million or something like that, right?
Yeah, because they had already paid her already. That's just the rest of it. And now she's doing great. She got a YouTube podcast, all that stuff. So using
your definition
that money,
of great is different than mine.
It's great because now she's not only sitting on all those millions, but then because of her podcast and YouTube and her name recognition, she is getting more checks. You know what I'm saying? That's a bag on top of a bag. She is doing great. She's not on TV no more, but she don't have to be.
She on something just bigger TV.
Again, CNN's Chris Cuomo's top ratings is nothing. He was the highest rated thing on CNN, but he only really get by 150,000 views a night. In comparison, Fox get 4 times that much in the same time slot. CNN is actually doing worse than HLN, which is their sister channel.
In comparison,
don't show nothing.
More comparison,
Mr.
Beast,
he's losing the forensic files.
And in more comparison, goddamn, Mr. Beast came out with a video that did almost 50 million in 24 hours.
Exactly.
What video was this?
That Squid Game. Yeah, that Squid Game joint. That shit was actually kind of tight too.
Yeah, I seen that.
Y'all will have to link it to me because I have not seen it.
Point is,
he recreated all the Squid Games.
It's almost like you can go out there and do the fuck ever because they pay you out and then you come back and make more money. Because YouTube is almost a bigger platform than any of those news channels.
So what y'all saying is him losing his CNN platform just led to him having a bigger platform.
Yep.
Yeah. Because CNN got to pay out his contract, which is millions. And then he can use that millions to do his own thing or do nothing. Just sit back and chill for the rest of his life. He don't have to do anything. That's why it's not a bad thing on him. It's more of a bad reflection on CNN than anything.
CNN might be losing their other anchor too, because they talking about Don Lemon got a sexual harassment charge on him.
Yeah,
Don Lemon.
Yeah, Don Lemon grabbing dicks. Like old buddy at the job back in the day, Tim.
Oh. We'll keep that for
I take that back. I take that back. He wasn't grabbing dicks. He was more like grabbing his own dick and telling the nigga to smell it. That's what Don Lemon did. Don Lemon put his hand down his pants and told the dude to sniff, do you like D or do you like P?
There's no way Don Lemon did this. I mean,
no. I believe it because I remember watching the CNN New Year's Eve thing a couple years ago, and Don Lemon was super drunk, Telling something, should I get my nipples pierced? I think I'm gonna go get my nipples pierced. And the little white anchor that was standing beside him, like, all right, Don, that's enough. And then they cut back to Anderson Cooper.
He's too
drunk.
The real him start coming out.
The real him, he get drunk, and this happened at a bar. You know what I'm saying? His incident happened at a bar. So I can see Don Lemon getting drunk off them Long Island iced teas, getting super slow, and putting his hand down his pants and tell niggas to smell his fingers. Fingers smell like gay balls. So yeah, I believe it. I believe all accusers.
But it's one thing if you I don't even see how that works because you're out at a bar. You do something dumb. Now I really am because I really don't know how to proceed from that. It's like, okay, hey, I did something stupid at a bar, like most people do. Now you want to get me fired for my $100,000 a year job or whatever you want to call it.
$100,000 a year. He gets. I think he get like $6 million a year. Don Lemon makes more money than most people in this country a day than they do a whole year.
Well, if he get fired, it's a wrap.
They probably just get rid of his money. They probably just get rid of him just because the ratings are so low. CNN has been trying. They've been trying to sell CNN for like the past 5-6 years. Just that nobody ain't want to buy it.
No, well, nobody is doing as good as Fox, but Fox has a way of just keeping the fire on them hot, and it's not like Fox News is that.
I got a theory about that.
Go ahead.
The reason why Fox News ratings are so high is not because they are better. It's because the majority of their audience are the people who still have cable. Right? Ain't nobody under 40 really got cable like that. And that'd be mostly CNN and MSNBC's audience. Right? If you 40 and under, the likelihood that you got cable and you're actually watching TV at that specific time is slim. Ain't too many people 40 and under is sitting at the house at 9 o'clock watching Chris Cuomo. It's not gonna happen. But if you like 65 and then you at the house, you probably got cable or satellite, and you're probably gonna watch what come on now, Sean Hannity. You're probably gonna watch Tucker Carlson, and you're more likely gonna be white. You're gonna be white and old and conservative. I know. I work with an old white conservative.
That's what they do.
He has a subscription to both Fox Nation and The Blaze. The Blaze. Glenn Beck. He got a bookshelf full of conservative books. Your Ann Coulters, your Mark Levins, your Glenn Becks, your Bill O'Reilly's. He got the whole book collection. I'm telling you.
I don't want to say anything bad about Glenn Beck. He might watch the show and want to talk about us bad, but
he won't. Trust me, I've seen a couple of them Glenn Beck shows. They talk bullshit and sell dog products.
I was gonna say, goddamn, I thought Glenn Beck fell off.
No, he hasn't. He owns The Blaze. The Blaze is like the biggest conservative streaming service out there.
Next to Fox.
It's Fox, The Blaze, and then all the other ones like Newsmax and OAN and whatever.